There are going to be so many exciting developments over the next 6 months. I wanted to review what some of those may be within Wilder World, Z-Chain, and Meow. Currently, the biggest buzz within the community has to be the upcoming land drop. It was said in Discord by Frank that we can expect this to be a stealth drop sometime later this week. This land drop will be the 4,444 plots on the island, which is the Genesis land drop. There was a snapshot back in August for these 4,444 land plots, and there's a lot of individuals that are excited to see what they got on their land title. There is an array of different districts, sizes of buildings, heights of buildings, and different type of traits that each one of these land titles will have, which kind of indicate where it's located and what kind of building you have on it, because these are the only ownable land pieces on the island. About 2/3 of them are ownable by the community, and the other 1/3 is owned by the game development, by Wilder World, because they wanted to be able to preserve the skyline and the future expansion of Wilder World when it came to different game modes and different things that they have planned as far as questing and the open world and all the other things that have been kind of in development for a long time. You can kind of see here what the land titles will kind of look like. You can see the skyline, you can see the urban plan, and it's really exciting for the team to be able to release these titles to the community. The community has been talking about this for a really long time. They're anticipating what it would look like to be able to get their possession of that land and be able to make their mark within Miami. In addition to the island, later this year, there is going to be 360 days of auctions of the 40,000 parcels of land. Each day, there's going to be 100 parcels of land that will be auctioned off. These auctions will be open where the community will be able to go in, take a look at what parcels of land are opened. They're going to end up being like this grid system, and there's 40,000 of them. Within this grid system, you're going to be able to put an auction down. Each of the highest 100 auctions will be accepted at the end of the day, and those land parcels will then be sent to the wallets of the winning auction holders. And then those individuals will be able to look at what they got. So in the beginning, a lot of people are going to be going in blind. And then from that, people are going to be able to see what was bought, what is on those parcels of land, and be able to start forming other types of strategy besides location, as far as how much resources might be on there, as far as value that way. Also continue to put value on location. And then we're going to see a really interesting dynamic of people strategizing in different ways in order to capitalize on the 100 parcels of land they're going to be able to get. Because sometimes you will be the only one that will bid, but you won't be one of the highest bidders. And so your land parcel may not be accepted because the 100 highest bids within this auction will be the ones that will be accepted. So there's going to be an interesting gamification of this process as the days go on, as there's a hype through the bull market, as there's hype with Wilder World, and the anticipation, expectations, and the speculation with each one of these land parcels within the mainland. In conjunction with the mainland and the island, we will then get the pipeline, which will be mining, refining, building, and selling of raw materials. Because this will jumpstart the economy within Wilder World, because all of the resources are backed by Wild. Here we can see the 12 core resource types with their each level of scarcity. You've got iron, copper, bauxite, lead, zinc, tin, nickel, gold, silver, uranium, and 2 unknown resources, with a total estimate of 4,547,320,000 resources. Frank also dropped a whip of one of the mining rigs that you'll be able to purchase to help extract these resources from the land. There's also this image of the scaffolding around buildings when you're building the buildings. And so there's going to be a start to the hustle and bustle of individual creation within Miami. Just recently, Frank and Neil had some great tweets talking about this land. They're really getting ready for the stealth drop of the island and the titles. that are going to be released to the individual Trinity holders that qualified during the August snapshot. Here he talks about that 20% of the wild supply will be locked within the island and mainland through resources. You'll be able to mine and use resources to craft in-game items such as buildings, weapons, vehicle parts, and so on. And so we can see that this really is the start of the economy and the start of being in the open world and being able to utilize individuals making their mark and using their imagination to create alongside the team. Neo here that talks about mining will be the biggest industry in Wilder World because it is what provides the fundamental raw materials for every other virtual asset in the world. And then you have Frank talking about that the island of Miami is already nearly 5 times the size of Cyberpunk's Night City map and 6 times the size of GTA 5's Los Santos. So you can see here that Frank does an incredible job explaining that scale of Miami, as well as the resource-rich land that we all will be able to get our hands on if we want to be able to build alongside the team, to build NFTs, to get vehicle parts. Now, you don't have to have the resources in order to enjoy the experience of Wilder World. You can just go in, be able to use the Wilder World Metaverse Marketplace to purchase and to get the resources you need in order to have the experience you want. But this is in a really credible way for individuals to kind of speculate and start to build along the team and help really fundamentalize a way to actually have a metaverse and a simulation and to be part of this new future technology and experience of connecting with other people, building and having these different game modes attached to more of an open world metaverse where a lot of things are going to start coming together. It's going to be on that blockchain. It's going to give you that decentralization. It's going to give you a piece of everything and kind of send us into the next phase of social networking and technology. And so I'm really excited for it. You then have Odyssey's part 1 and 3. We're already in Odyssey part 1. We kind of call it the growing phase. You have a lot of individuals that are coming in, getting a view of what Wilder World is. The community lead team is doing an incredible job in bringing people together, getting information out, answering questions, providing fun experiences for people to be able to play along and play Midnight in Miami, as well as to start anticipating what's coming with Rebellion. So Odyssey Part 1 is really to bring people together and incentivize them with Wild, because there is a Wild airdrop attached to this. And then phase 2 is really going to be how individuals can use that Wild. So there's going to be resources. There's going to be a marketplace where people are going to be able to buy, trade, and sell different NFTs, different assets that you're going to be able to find within Wilder World. I also anticipate there's probably going to be assets eventually from other communities that are going to be on there. And there's going to be incentive in order to utilize the marketplace and really make it a fundamental place where people go to buy, trade, sell, and otherwise interact with Wilder World in the economy. And so it's going to be really exciting to see how people utilize it, how people utilize that airdrop, if they're going to just drop their bag, if they're going to save it, if they're going to purchase other assets. But it's going to be a really fun way to kind of watch the growth of Wilder World. And then as far as part 3, I don't know. I think that's probably going to be more of like the in-world experience and the different things that are going to be attached to that. So maybe part 3 will have something to do with the super early access pass that we'll talk about later. But it's going to end up being this 3-part phase that will help grow this community, give them a bag in order to go out and kind of experience the world and really start to get their feet wet as it comes to the new developments within Wilder World. And the teams are just trying to give everyone the best product and the best experience they can have so that they want to stick around. And then as we talked about, you have this Wilder World Metaverse Marketplace that we've kind of discussed already. And then we have the avatars is another thing a lot of people are excited about. This is something that's going to be coming out with the what seems like version 0.8.0 with the super early access pass, which we'll talk about. But these avatars have been something that people have really been looking forward to for a really long time. The avatar character creator looks to be pretty amazing. You have the capacity to really build out some really interesting characters. You have these Trinity suits, and they're building out the forum. I'm pretty sure that this is a female whip from Frank, who he released. This may be an in-game asset. It kind of looks like that with the weapons and stuff, but that's just speculation. This could just be a whip that he drew up in order to give inspiration to the team. But we can see that the avatar character creator will be pretty incredible. We're going to be able to really get our hands on a lot of ability to create something that we connect with that reflects who we are. And so that's going to be pretty exciting. Then you have industry staking. This is another type of development that the community is really excited for. Wheels was the largest and first really big public NFT sale back in October of 2021, maybe end of September 2021. The details of all of it, none of us really know. We're all waiting for the network to come out, the protocol, which has been changed to Z. And so once that is released, then industry staking will be something that a lot of people are cheering about. We've just been talking about for so long. I think a lot of people are just waiting for that mainnet to drop so that we can start hearing when these developments will really start coming out and people can start taking advantage of it. But industry staking is definitely something people are looking forward to. And along with that, the wheels updates that we've been getting, the recent ones with the Mercedes and the Porsche has really gotten people excited, me being one of them. I think these wheels updates has truly been an addition, a quality upgrade to the collection. And so I know some people are not too excited about it, but I think the vast majority of people are really impressed what Aris and other of his other teammates, Marcos, they're all doing in order to update these wheels and making sure that they aesthetically stay within the original while upgrading it to more of a Wilder World vibe. I love them. Every single one lately has really impressed me, and so I can't wait for more to come out. You also have Frank, who's been dropping some more art. I even saw a second edition to this one over here on the left, where he's really starting to get into it, and I love it. I love seeing Frank getting in there, being creative, and doing what he loves with bringing out more art. And so we can probably expect more of that. Those that have, what is it, Cash is Dead art pieces waiting for another one to be dropped. I was really wishing I would have got my hands on the Zero one that he dropped. It was one of my favorites that he had dropped. I was trying to get my hands on it. I wasn't able to get that 10th Cash is Dead piece in order to burn them, in order to get it. But hopefully I can be ready for the next one and really get my hands on one of Frank's original pieces. My brother was able to get his hands on a Satoshi one, which he was super excited about. And I'm excited to be able to get my hands on one in the future. But I love the pieces that he's working on. And I think this is a super positive place. I think this speaks to the place that Frank is at and hopefully the rest of the team. So I'm excited to see more and more art come from Frank, as well as Phoenix. And then you have Wilder World version 0.6.0 through version 0.8.0. Now these are super early access. The 0.6 and 0.7 are going to be internal releases where individuals are going to be able to test who's going to test them, if it's just the team, if they have a small collection of the community. Individuals that are going to be able to go in and test these different versions before the 0.8 comes out, which will be the release of Open World, Rebellion, these versions of Midnight in Miami, as well as the Avatar Creator. I think more details on mining. Maybe not. Don't quote me on that, but a few other types of things. You then have the release of Rebellion. Now, this is something that they had kind of just a demo out in Tokyo where individuals would be able to play. There was a lot of great feedback. You had some of the professionals throughout the industry be able to get their hands on it, and they had great reviews of Rebellion. Obviously, when it comes to a shooter game, there's a high expectation, and the team has already seen what games like Off the Grid has done in releasing their game. There's other games that are going to be coming out that are similar to Rebellion and other shooter games. And so not only will we be able to learn from these other crypto-based, Web3, blockchain-based games, we will also be able to wow and surprise individuals with the lore, with the aesthetics, with the feel, and just really create an original piece that isn't just a copy-paste. And so I'm excited for the team to get that feedback, and I would really love it that it was just a lot of positive feedback with a few tips of advice to help the team improve and release better and better updates, 4 to 6 weeks cycles that they've talked about in order to improve each of the gameplay until we get to the actual final release, which I imagine will be at some point next year, would be my guess, if not the year after that. But with it being 0.8, I would imagine next year sometime the release of Wilder World will happen. So 0.8 will be at the end of this year, and sometime next year will be version 1 that will be released. So we're really excited about that. It may be later. This is all speculation, but we have super early access, so I imagine there'll then be early access, and then there'll just be access. So a lot of things to look forward to, including this open world. Some of the images coming out from the team is just purely breathtaking. These two with Frank and Neo really set the mood of what Miami is going to be, the aesthetics, kind of the energy and the vibe that we're going to have. Really excited for this Hydrolink game mode phase with Rebellion coming out, and us Wilders are going to be able to go in there and defend the water treatment facility at I think it's called Hydrolink. So really excited about that. It's within the Nexus neighborhood. And so just some of the small details of the lore and the open world and being able to get out and run around with my own character just seems really exciting. Then, as I've talked about multiple times already, you have the super early access, which essentially you're going to have to own some type of asset from Wilder World in order to gain access to this version 0.8.0, where you're going to be able to experience a version of the open world, Rebellion, Midnight in Miami, and other things that you'll be able to go and enjoy yourself and really let your imagination go. And along with that, not everyone has a computer or can afford a computer. And so a lot of people are really waiting for this GeForce Now, where they would be able to each month have a subscription to be able to play a game like Wilder World and other games, and hopefully have a really good experience doing so. This isn't ready yet. A lot of people keep asking. People want to get their hands on it, because if we're going to be able to have a game, a metaverse or simulation that it has everything and is for everyone, you have to create less barriers of entry, and the team is really striving to do that and releasing it at appropriate times. They just don't feel like right now is the right time, I would imagine, and I would agree with them. I think a lot of people just feel like they're missing out, when really we're just in these testing phases of wanting to be able to get it. And I understand that some people are able to earn wild. There are individuals taking advantage of that, and the team is constantly trying to tweak and improve the system in order to make it as fair as possible to everyone. You can't make everybody happy. I would imagine this would probably be available for the super early access, but no guarantees. At this point, I don't try to put a timeline on things. I just anticipate and wait and maybe speculate a little bit on when things like this will come out. You have then Zero Messenger. There's been a lot of changes to MEOW chain, which is now Z chain, and MEOW, which is splitting off to a meme coin as well as a protocol. But Zero Messenger just has come out with a multitude of new updates, and I've been in there testing it out, checking it out, and there is a vast improvement to it. They're going to be opening up invitations soon, so those of you who weren't able to get in during the first testing, hopefully will be able to have an opportunity to get into the second testing and be able to start MEOWing, and which I'll get into in a second, and just start forming communities and groups to be able to communicate with. The system is a lot more smooth, a lot less problems with the hidden messages, which because you have to back up a key for security because it is a true end-to-end encrypted platform to be able to messaging platform. So you kind of have to kind of give and take as the technology really starts to develop. But I really think the team should be praised for a lot of the great improvements that they've done to the app, and I've actually really enjoyed it, and I've started to use it a little bit more. As more features come on, you'll start to see more and more and more people using it, and eventually it'll just become their number one messaging app, especially after MEOWing comes on, because it's basically going to be the way that you react to posts. And so you can see here you reacted with 23 MEOW. So MEOW is going to turn into a meme coin, but you're going to be able to use that coin in order to meow, which is just a way to react to individuals, almost like upvoting on Reddit, liking things and whatnot. You're going to be able to meow on your favorite posts and really start to push attention to individuals that are really trying to add value to the community, add value to different groups, and or just have some fun meowing. Maybe someone drops a really funny meme and you want to meow it. Maybe someone drops an incredible piece of art and you want to meow it. Maybe someone shares an experience or a story, you want to meow it. There's going to be so many reasons that you can meow a post, and I think this is just a really fun way to be able to utilize a meme coin to capitalize on an industry and almost what the narrative is for this cycle. I'm excited for this. I know I say the word excited a lot. It's like the best word to say. I'm anticipating it. I'm positively anxious for the next phase of things. Moving on, we talked about the splitting of the current MEOW. I know it can get confusing, but previously it was Zero, then it went to MEOW, and now MEOW will be Z. And it's all the same thing. It is a network that is being built by the Zero team, and Z is going to be the token that is attached to that protocol, that network. But MEOW, instead of you losing anything, you're actually gaining something. You're going to gain their MEOW, or the MEOW token that you have will be the MEOW token that I just spoke about. That's a meme coin. And then they're going to release the full supply to everybody through different types of airdrops, through different types of holding trinities. There's just going to be a whole bunch of different type of multipliers and different things that you're going to be able to get this MEOW token, which will then be a meme coin that you'll then be able to sell, keep, meow, do all the things you want. But you will also be gaining the Z token, which will be the protocol token for the Z chain, which I love their logo. I think they did a great job. Whoever does their graphics and their branding and different things, they definitely are getting their value. I personally connect really well with it. I think this looks incredible. I think it goes really well with what they're trying to achieve. And then you have Z chain. For those that may not be too much aware of like what protocols are for and the importance, I kind of put this on here. A network protocol acts as the backbone, enabling secure, fast, and flexible interactions within the metaverse and crypto gaming ecosystems, directly shaping the platform's appeal and long-term viability through these four ways, which is scalability, security, interoperability, and efficient and seamless user experiences. And so the Z chain is going to help with this. Basically, it is everything that is happening underneath when you're just wanting to get on, escape, and play a game and have some fun. All the transactions, all your interactions, all the things you're doing is built on top of this Z chain. And then, some of the things attached to it, I just did this graphic to kind of show, DAO, security, building, your zero ID, mining, industry staking, game modes, zero messenger, domains, zodes, transactions, and the Wilder World Metaverse Marketplace. And so all of these different transactions, all of these things you're doing are all built on top of the Z chain. I personally think that this is a huge inflection point. For the longest time, there's been two images. I don't know if you guys have ever seen those light dispersion images of the triangles when the white light goes in and then it's broken up into multiple colors. Because white is the combination of all color and then these light prisms that break up that light. It's called light dispersion. I've been thinking about that the team's just been working really hard on Wilder World, right? This concept. And a lot of people have these different concepts of what that is. Is it a racing game? Is it just a metaverse? Is it like what? Is it just NFTs? Is it just art? And so everyone has these different concepts or understandings of what Wilder World is. And as the team starts to really develop each aspect of Wilder World with open world, with avatars, with rebellion, with the mining, with the economy, and with the racing game and the wheels, you really see that concept of Wilder World really splitting up into the different beautiful arrays of different colors. And so I've really been thinking about that kind of concept as well as this inflection point. You have the team building out all of these things, but you kind of need an engine. You need that network in order for everything to function and work seamlessly, for transactions to be gasless and free. When you have millions, billions, trillions of transactions over a year, you need to be able to have a network that can handle that and where people aren't spending so much. And so you have these different roll-up protocols that help you be able to efficiently be able to utilize all of these capabilities that can happen on the blockchain, but do it in a seamless way where you can expand, they can be interoperable, and all the things you need it to be can be there, and you can resolve the problems. I believe right now we're at like this inflection point. It's not over here, but we're like entering into that inflection point. I really do believe we're like at that point when Z is released in the Z chain and things start to be on top of it, and all of those things are starting to work together. That's really that start. The team's going to have to learn from that. The community is going to be able to go in and utilize and give feedback, and things are really going to go up. But as that really starts to get polished, we go to like that second inflection point where we really start to take off. We've already crossed this chasm, as is displayed in this graphic that Neo sent over to me, where you kind of cross this chasm as well as you are releasing different generations of these networks, protocols, game modes, the simulation, all the things. As you are like releasing new versions of this, it then starts to get adopted more until you get into this mass adoption of having 30% of the marketplace. The team's really doing a great job talking about these, like where we're at with the first generations. You get a lot of, we're going into a bull market. And so we're really starting to be in these different phases of adoption. I really feel like we're in this inflection point and in these different adoption phases. And so I'm really excited that we're in this chasm, we're thriving, we're succeeding, and we're really striving to get that media attention where people really start to start adopting and really loving what the teams have been building over the last few years. Finally, I wanted to talk about some bonus items. You have lore that the team has been really working on. This is another character coming out within the lore and what's going to be a part of the different game modes and different quest systems and the storyline that's going to be a part of Wilder World and Miami. I can't wait until we get more of it. I love a good story. I really, really do. And so a major aspect for me when it comes to Wilder World is the vibe and feel and the aesthetics, as well as the storyline and how we as a people got to this point and what we're interacting with. Like, what world am I interacting with? And so I'm really excited about learning more about the lore. We haven't heard a lot about wilder beasts. We're going into a bull market, so I have some speculation. Maybe they will drop the bull beast within that bull market sometime within that time. And then I was thinking another cool thing would be is that the team released the bear when we started going into the bear market, or when we were in the bear market, and just start to release these different beast collections in fun and adaptive ways. And then you also have Beings by Ekam and Oleg. And so I thought maybe we could get another PALS collection before the end of kind of this cycle, sometime by, I don't know, April timeframe, where we get released maybe the Beings, which have always supposed to be a major aspect of Wilder World in the building process. So I'm anticipating maybe we'll have a sneaky announcement when it comes to Beings in the PALS collection. But that's all I have for now. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope I've kind of caught you up on a lot of the things that we can anticipate over the next 6 months. There's a lot of exciting things. We are at an inflection point. We are at a pivotal point where the team can market well. They can help people adapt this technology and really send us into the stratosphere of a new world and a new way of developing. The team will not stop until they succeed all aspects of their vision. And that is what I love most about this team. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And they are working their butts off, and they have an incredible team behind them in order to accomplish those goals. And we can have a really exciting time being fans of Wilder World, learning the lore, and getting our hands on these super early access passes.